Chosen one, there comes a moment when silence tests your strength more than storms ever did. The air feels heavier, time stretches, and it seems like the whole universe is watching to see what you'll do next. This is that moment. The test isn't about what's happening around you, it's about how you respond. You're not being punished, you're being positioned. The very thing that seems to be working against you is the ground preparing to lift you higher. Every challenge, every misunderstanding, every delay, it's all designed to reveal the level of your maturity, your peace, and your restraint. Because your reaction right now will determine the shape of what comes next. Before we go deeper, pause here. Breathe. This message found you at the right moment for a reason. You're being divinely aligned for a major shift. But this shift requires calm faith. So before we continue, write your warmest wishes and 777 in the comments below. This is your declaration to the universe that you're ready to respond differently, ready to align your energy with patience, love, and divine trust. As you write, you release tension and open the door for your wishes to find you. Remember, this isn't just about hope, it's about energy. What you give out right now is what multiplies. This is the moment to anchor your calm because heaven is reading your vibration. Now listen carefully. Your promotion isn't waiting in the hands of others, it's waiting in your discipline. The test before elevation is never about who wronged you, it's about whether you've mastered your reaction. When the pressure builds, when the situation feels unfair, that's when heaven leans closer. It's not checking how loud you pray, but how gracefully you stay. You've been asking for higher ground, but higher ground can't hold chaos. The next level demands composure, not complaint. The door that leads upward only opens for those who can remain still while others panic. That's why this season feels so heavy. It's your final evaluation before your breakthrough. Every time something or someone tries to provoke you, remember, this isn't a battle of flesh, it's a measurement of growth. Your peace is being weighed. Your restraint is being recorded. What you say, how you react, what energy you feed into, it all matters. Heaven tests your reaction not to expose weakness, but to confirm readiness. You've already prayed for the blessing. Now your behavior will determine if you can sustain it. Promotion is never random, it's always a reflection of your preparation. This is where many fall. They react emotionally when the test was spiritual. They fight back, defend themselves, or try to prove their worth, forgetting that heaven already knows. The real exam isn't about defending your position, it's about trusting that what's divine can't be stolen. Every response outside of peace delays the reward that was already written for you. That's why you've been feeling this internal tug of war. Your old self wants to react, but your higher self wants to remain calm. This conflict isn't punishment, it's transformation. Your current situation isn't meant to break you, it's meant to polish you. Diamonds are refined through pressure, not comfort. The weight you feel is the final shaping of your character before heaven hands you the new assignment. You're being watched, not by enemies, but by destiny. How you handle this moment will determine your speed of elevation. The divine doesn't promote those who can fight, it promotes those who can endure without losing alignment. You're learning how to stay graceful even when provoked, how to hold silence even when misunderstood, how to keep faith even when unseen. You've probably noticed that lately, small things that never used to bother you now test your patience. That's because you've outgrown the level where anger was an option. The universe isn't punishing you, it's upgrading your emotional intelligence. Every moment of restraint is a seed of authority. You're learning that not every battle requires a sword. Some victories are silent, won by the strength of self-control. This is what maturity looks like, holding power without needing to prove it. There's a reason certain people and situations have resurfaced. They're not coincidences, they're retests. Heaven will always revisit what you failed to master. The people who once triggered you will appear again, not to torment you, but to reveal how far you've come. This time you'll feel the urge to react, but won't. You'll sense the tension, but remain grounded. That's when heaven nods, because it sees evolution. When you respond differently to what used to upset you, you've passed the test. and the reward comes swiftly. Understand this, promotion doesn't come when things calm down. It comes when you do. When you can smile through confusion, when you can stand firm in faith while everything shakes, when you no longer need validation to stay confident, that's when you're promoted. Because peace is proof of power. Anyone can react when life is easy. True strength shows when everything feels uncertain and you still choose calm. That's the kind of spirit heaven can trust with more. So if you're wondering why your environment feels tense right now, this is why. You're being observed in the unseen realm. Your next opportunity, your next door, your next level. It's watching how you move when provoked. Every moment of grace builds your access. Every breath of patience writes your promotion letter. You're not waiting for luck, you're proving leadership. This is your test, and your response is the final answer. Keep your composure. Don't explain yourself to those committed to misunderstanding you. Don't argue with those who feed on your reaction. You are not who you used to be. Your silence is not weakness, it's strategy. Every time you choose calm, you activate divine favor. Every time you refuse to lower your energy, heaven raises your position. The unseen world is recording your restraint like a key unlocking your next season. You may not see the shift immediately, but trust me, it's happening. The moment you pass this test internally, your external world will rearrange itself in your favor. Doors that were shut will start creaking open. Delays will dissolve. The same people who doubted you will watch in silence as the universe rewards your discipline. The key to your promotion was never about shouting louder. It was about staying still long enough for heaven to move on your behalf. So when the pressure intensifies, remember this: the more it burns, the closer you are to gold. The more misunderstood you feel, the more the divine is protecting your voice from the wrong ears. And when everything around you starts demanding a reaction, give none. Let your peace confuse what was meant to provoke you. The test ends when you choose calm over chaos. And when you do, the promotion begins. You've entered the stage where silence has become louder than words, where every small reaction feels like a decision echoing in eternity. The test has intensified. Things that used to be simple now demand patience. People you trusted now seem unpredictable. It's not coincidence, it's calibration. The universe is watching how you move when life doesn't go according to plan. Your promotion isn't waiting for calm circumstances. It's waiting for a calm spirit inside chaos. This is where your true response matters most. You'll notice that lately everything around you feels like pressure. But pressure indeed isn't punishment, it's purpose trying to introduce itself. You're being stretched, not because you're weak, but because you're expanding. Every challenge that's showing up is designed to measure your emotional stability. The divine doesn't elevate the easily provoked. It promotes those who can face storms without becoming one. So when you feel misunderstood, unseen or disrespected, breathe. Don't rush to explain, don't fight for recognition. Recognition comes to those who master restraint. Your silence right now is a seed. The world may interpret it as weakness, but heaven interprets it as wisdom. The most powerful response you can give to the provocation is peace. Every time you choose not to react, you earn another layer of authority. Every time you hold your composure, you build credibility in the unseen realm. It's not about proving who you are, it's about showing heaven you're ready for what's next. When you stop defending yourself, heaven starts defending you publicly. You may be tempted to speak out to make them see the truth, but remember, promotion doesn't come from convincing people, it comes from alignment. Sometimes the test is not losing your voice, sometimes it's knowing when silence is your voice. The way you respond now determines whether this season becomes your breakdown or your breakthrough. You don't have to win every argument, you have to win your peace. That's where real power lives. Soon you'll see why this restraint mattered. What looks like delay is really divine documentation. Heaven recording your reactions, waiting for you to pass the test of emotional maturity. Because promotion can't arrive where pride still leads. The one who can hold peace under pressure is the one heaven can trust with influence. Keep choosing calm, keep choosing love, and keep remembering Your response is the bridge between your current level and your elevation. You start to feel it, the shift that comes when you finally stop reacting to every disturbance. The noise around you doesn't pull you like it used to. You can sense when energy is trying to bait you, when a situation is designed to see if you've truly grown. This is your refinement season, where every reaction becomes a mirror showing how ready you are for the responsibility you've been praying for. The divine isn't watching what happens to you, it's watching what happens in you. The people around you may misread your calm as indifference, but heaven sees it as discipline. You're no longer running on emotion, you're guided by awareness. You know that not every action deserves a reaction, and not every voice deserves response. The same things that used to drain you now dissolve into silence. That silence isn't empty, it's sacred. It's the sound of self-control. Every time you choose the peace over pride, you rise above the frequency that tried to keep you stuck. When you stop reacting, you reclaim your energy. You begin to see how much power you used to give away by explaining, defending, proving. Now that energy is yours again, redirected toward purpose. And because you've stopped feeding the noise, it begins to fade. The attacks lose power not because they stop, but because you've outgrown them. You've learned to observe without absorbing, to witness chaos without carrying it. That is the level of emotional maturity that triggers divine acceleration. You're realizing that promotion isn't about reward, it's about readiness. You can't move into the next chapter with the same mindset that struggled in this one. So heaven gives you rehearsals, moments that look like tests but are actually training. Each one asks, can you stay still while everything moves? Because the higher you go, the quieter the climb becomes. The altitude requires oxygen, not argument. This is why some relationships have started fading. You're not losing people, you're losing the need to explain yourself to them. The peace that now guides you has made chaos incompatible. You can sense when a room no longer holds your purpose, when a conversation drains more than it gives, when an opportunity comes dressed as distraction. That's discernment in motion. You used to chase signs. Now you are one. Your restraint has become your greatest weapon. It's how you protect your energy, your calling, your time. The more you master your response, the clearer your direction becomes. You're not being punished, you're being promoted privately. Heaven always prepares the soul in silence before presenting it in light, so keep your tone soft, your spirit steady, and your vision forward. Because every calm decision you make now is writing the future that chaos will never touch. The energy around you has shifted again. What once felt like resistance now feels like clarity. The same situations that used to trigger frustration now reveal patterns. You're seeing things differently because your spirit has elevated beyond reaction. You've reached the place where stillness becomes strategy, where you finally understand that not every storm is meant to be fought, some are meant to be outlasted. Your response has built a shield around you, invisible but undeniable. You've passed enough tests to know sometimes the best move is no move at all. People may try to draw you into old cycles using familiar words or tactics to pull you back into old energy. But the difference now is that you recognize it instantly. You feel when something doesn't resonate, when something is beneath the vibration you now live on. That's growth. You no longer respond to prove your worth. You respond only when it protects your peace. Silence has become your sword and calm has become your crown. You might feel moments of loneliness in this stage because peace often creates distance, but that distance is divine. Heaven is isolating you to elevate you. The next level of your journey can't be shared with everyone, and the universe will ensure that anyone not aligned with your frequency simply drifts away. It's not rejection, it's refinement. Every departure right now is an act of protection. Every misunderstanding is saving you from unnecessary noise. The promotion you've been praying for is already unfolding behind the scenes. Your name is being mentioned in rooms you haven't entered yet. The right people are feeling drawn to your energy without knowing why. Because when you master response, you shift timelines. You're no longer reacting to what's happening. You're directing What happens next through energy and intention? Every calm choice sends a signal to heaven. I'm ready. And heaven answers through movement. This is the stage where your peace becomes magnetic. The same ones who underestimated your stillness will come back seeking your stability. The same doors that once ignored you will now swing open effortlessly. Why? Because promotion flows to those who don't chase it. You've learned to wait without anxiety, to move without fear, to speak without anger. That's divine maturity. And the reward for that level of awareness is expansion, spiritual, emotional, and material. So keep your posture steady. Keep your energy clean. The next breakthrough won't come with noise, it'll come with ease. You've proven that you can stay aligned under pressure, and now heaven will align circumstances to honor that strength. The test is nearly over. The lesson was never about control, it was about composure. And because you've mastered that, your promotion is no longer a possibility, it's a promise. You've reached the moment that was always meant to arrive, the still point after the storm, the silence after the test. Everything you've endured, everything that pressed against you, everything that tried to break your patience, it was all preparing you for this exact space of calm authority. You no longer question the timing because you are the timing. The waiting was never wasted. It was weaving the version of you who could stand here, steady, aware, and unshaken. This is what divine promotion feels like, not a loud announcement, but a subtle rising, like the sun that needs no applause to illuminate everything it touches. You remember the nights you wanted to react, the moments when silence burned, when misunderstanding felt unbearable. Yet you chose restraint. You chose peace over proof, stillness over defense, alignment over reaction. Every time you did, heaven took note. You weren't losing control, you were gaining command. You didn't shrink, you sharpened. The divine was watching, testing whether you could stay centered in chaos, whether you could remain gracious while being provoked. And now, the test is complete. The world hasn't changed, but you have, and that's why your reality is about to shift. You've proven that you can hold peace under pressure, so heaven can now trust you with power. Every calm response you gave became a key that unlocked a higher level of purpose. Your response was the interview, and your silence was your promotion letter. Now all that's left is the unveiling. The rewards you prayed for are already in motion. The conversations that once excluded you are now preparing a seat in your name. The same doors that stayed shut are beginning to recognize your frequency. You've ascended vibrationally, and life is adjusting to meet you where you've risen. This next chapter won't require as much effort. You'll notice that things begin to flow with less friction. People who truly belong will find you effortlessly. Opportunities that once felt impossible will land softly in your path. That's what happens when your inner world finally matches the vibration of your prayers. You no longer need to push. The divine current now carries you forward. Every delay was building endurance. Every pause was creating alignment. Every silence was crafting wisdom. Now everything is converging into perfect timing. The divine doesn't shout when it promotes, it whispers. You'll wake up one morning and realize the weight is gone. You'll notice that the anxiety that used to define your days has dissolved into clarity. You'll walk into familiar places and feel like you've outgrown the room, not in pride, but in peace. You'll find yourself responding with gentleness to things that once would have provoked fire. That's not weakness, it's mastery. You've evolved past the need to prove anything. And that's when the blessings accelerate, because heaven only promotes those who no longer need validation to move forward. You've been walking through divine classrooms disguised as confusion. Every misunderstanding was a mirror reflecting something you needed to outgrow. Every silence was teaching you how to hear the subtler voice of intuition. Every obstacle was revealing whether you could stay loyal to purpose when convenience disappeared. And now the lesson is complete. Your reaction no longer betrays your destiny. Your composure has become your crown. From this moment on, you'll notice how fast things begin to change. When you mastered your response, you changed your spiritual signature. You've become untouchable by the noise you've transcended. The universe recognizes the new frequency you carry. It's the sound of alignment. The attacks will no longer find you because they no longer match you. You've risen out of their reach. What once triggered you now teaches you. What once hurt you now honors you. And perhaps the most beautiful part of all, your peace is contagious. Others will notice the calm in your presence and not understand why they feel lighter around you. That's because your energy is now a signal of safety, a reflection of grace. You're not just being promoted in status, you're being elevated in spirit. The divine doesn't only give you a higher position, it gives you higher perception. You'll see farther, feel deeper, and move wiser. You won't have to explain this transformation. Your silence will speak it. You've done what few can do. You mastered the moment before your miracle. You stood still when everything screamed for reaction. You kept your posture while the world tested your patience. You responded like the person you were becoming, not the person you were leaving behind. And that decision shifted everything. This is not the end of the test, it's the beginning of testimony. So stand tall now, not because the storm is over, but because you've become the calm within it. Your response has rewritten your reality. Your restraint has redefined your rank. You didn't just pass the test, you became the answer. The world is about to witness the kind of promotion that only heaven can authorize. No announcement, no permission, no competition, just divine confirmation flowing into form. You've earned this moment, walk in it. You feel the shift before you see it, the quiet hum in the air, the way life begins to bend toward you instead of against you. The resistance that once surrounded you no longer exists. The doors that were sealed shut begin to unlock without you forcing them. What once required explanation now speaks for itself. You've become the proof of patience, the embodiment of what happens when faith refuses to flinch. This is what divine promotion feels like. It doesn't come with applause. It arrives in peace. The same peace that cost you battles, silence, misunderstandings, and tears now becomes the crown on your head. Your energy is different now. You walk into places that once made you shrink, and instead of doubt, there's calm authority. You don't need to announce your growth. The atmosphere adjusts when you arrive. You've mastered something sacred, the ability to remain unchanged by chaos. Your promotion isn't just about position, it's about perception. You can now see what's real and what's noise. You understand that not everyone around you is meant to celebrate you, and that's okay. You've stopped expecting loyalty from those who were only meant to test your integrity. You've been purified by the fire of waiting. That's why your blessings will last, because they were built in silence, not spectacle. You endured ridicule, you handled unfairness with grace, you allowed patience to rewrite your instincts. And now heaven has documented it all. Every tear that fell in private was a signature on your promotion letter. Every time you said nothing when provoked, every time you chose grace when you could have chosen revenge, heaven recorded it as wisdom. The universe saw your composure and it made a note, this one is ready. The old you would have rushed to explain, to prove, to argue. The new you simply smiles and moves differently. You no longer chase closure, you create peace. You no longer beg to be understood, you understand yourself. You no longer demand recognition, you recognize your own power. This is freedom, the kind that no title, no validation, no applause can replace. You've entered the realm where your value is self-sustaining, where silence speaks louder than defense. The divine trusts you now because you've proven that you can carry elevation without ego. Your response during the storm changed everything. The way you stayed calm when accused, patient when overlooked, humble when hurt, it rewrote your destiny. You shifted timelines simply by not reacting in the old ways. The version of you that used to crumble under pressure has dissolved. What stands now is someone who knows that destiny doesn't need defending. You can sense the power in your restraint. It radiates from you quietly, commanding respect without demanding it. That's what happens when the divine graduates you. You don't have to announce your rise. The universe does it for you. Now the blessings start to move, one after another in patterns too precise to be coincidence. You'll receive a message at the exact moment your faith almost wavers. You'll meet someone who feels like a missing piece. You'll walk into rooms that feel like déjà vu because you dreamed of them before. None of this is random. This is divine repayment, the reward for how you responded when no one was watching. You passed the unseen exam, and now the visible world has to reflect it. You may not feel it all at once. Promotions from heaven rarely arrive in one grand moment. They unfold through sequences of divine timing. The opportunities that once passed you by will return with your name written on them. The relationships that once drained you will be replaced by ones that restore you. The same people who misjudged your silence will wonder how you kept your peace while they lost theirs. You don't need to explain it. Grace doesn't need interpretation. It simply reveals itself through results. This is the moment where life begins to echo your inner world. Your calm becomes magnetism. Your patience becomes abundance. Your faith becomes evidence. You'll notice how the same things that used to stress you now amuse you. The arguments that once consumed your energy no longer register. That's what true elevation feels like. It's not louder, it's lighter. The higher you rise, the less you carry. And now the divine releases you into purpose without and permission. You've earned this release because you've proven that you can handle what's sacred without spoiling it with pride. The universe needed to see how you'd respond before it entrusted you with influence. And you've shown mastery, compassion without weakness, strength without control, faith without fear. This is spiritual promotion, an unshakable peace that no circumstance can reverse. You'll begin to notice a strange beauty in your new season. You no longer chase alignment, alignment chases you. The people meant for your journey start to appear with divine precision. Opportunities come not through force, but through resonance. Your steps sync with timing so flawlessly that even delays feel divine. What once took years will happen in weeks because heaven promotes in acceleration when readiness meets surrender. You have become the answer to your own prayer. The same grace you asked for now flows from you. The same light you begged heaven for now shines through you. You are no longer waiting for confirmation, you are living as confirmation. Your peace confirms your growth. Your quiet confidence confirms your authority. Your stability confirms your faith. You've become the evidence that patience produces power. But remember, this isn't the end. It's a new frequency of existence. Promotion doesn't mean the tests stop. It means you're trusted with bigger ones. Yet this time you'll walk through them with calmness born from experience. You'll no longer fear opposition because you've seen how peace dissolves it. You'll no longer fear loss because you've learned that what leaves always makes room for what's meant. You'll no longer fear the unknown because you now understand. The unknown is simply the divine in disguise. The universe has recalibrated itself to your frequency. You're in alignment now, and that's irreversible. You've outgrown the chaos that once distracted you. You've healed from the habits that once sabotaged you. You've stepped into authority that doesn't need validation. And the beauty of it all is that you didn't have to fight your way here. You responded your way here. You didn't climb through noise. You ascended through silence. Now walk forward. Don't rush, don't explain, don't look back. You are walking in grace that can't be replicated, in purpose that can't be stolen, in timing that can't be delayed. Your response became your signature in heaven, and heaven has already signed the promotion. The world is about to witness it unfold, not through spectacle, but through serenity. The loudest part of your victory will be your peace, and when people ask how you got here, you'll simply smile. Because they'll never understand that your breakthrough wasn't in what you said, it was in what you didn't. You stand at the threshold of peace, finally understanding that every delay, every silence, every unseen battle was shaping this version of you. There's no rush left in your spirit, only rhythm. What once felt uncertain now feels designed. You no longer chase the future, you walk with it. The promotion isn't coming, it's already here, living through you quietly, powerfully, eternally.